This is someone who was born and raised in the South, in the deep South, in Miami, Florida, all right, who was accustomed to seeing the white and colored signs. And I came here as a chemist, 65. I think one of the first, or the first black person that they had ever hired in R&D at Carrier. In April of 1965, I was drafted by the United States Army. Because of the GI Bill, I had access to educational funds. And so the decision was, what do you do? And I just happened to back into a law school application. I applied with no intention of going, but it did happen. It was in 1968 when I started. It was a critical year in the life and times in these United States. I started growing a great big huge afro, wearing my granny glasses to class, the hell with this damn coat and tie stuff, wearing my field jacket with a black turtleneck, black power. That's where I was. I resolved I would never ever work for corporate America. I will spend the remainder of my career trying to make sure that there's justice for everybody, especially poor people. During my first year in law school, in the course of falling into this lot with the hippies and freaks, another lawyer, he's a lawyer here in town now, Clifford Forstad, and I formed the Syracuse University chapter of the Law Students Civil Rights Research Council, an organization that was devoted to getting law students involved in the civil rights movement. When I graduated, I was awarded a fellowship. They paid for me, in effect, to work for legal services for a year as a community lawyer. The experience with legal services was a real beginning. I mean, all my clients were poor people. You could do magical and wonderful things with this thing called the law just from being a lawyer. We drew up a set of rules and regulations and practices for tenants, like a tenant's bill of rights that's been used in a number of other projects throughout the country. Started right here at Pioneer Homes. All of those experiences just helped me to come to a higher understanding of how the law as a tool for change could be most effectively utilized, especially for black people. There were 4 black lawyers in Syracuse in 1979. We came up with a nice plan for opening a law office. 3 of us decided to go ahead. The 2 other persons were Bill May and Henry Melcore. We started the firm May, McKinney, and Melcore. One of my early cases involved, ironically, an employment discrimination case against Carrier Corporation. We never thought of ourselves as being the black law firm for black people. Probably I'd say maybe 30 to 40% of our clients were white. I had entertained before the notion of becoming a judge, but not enthusiastically or seriously. After I got appointed, what I found was there's a lot that goes on in this thing called the law that we were just never privy to. I've learned a number of important lessons from my grandmother, and she said, "It's great that you're the first black judge, but do not ever believe," these are her words, "that you can get away with the stuff the white boys do." She said, the moment you start to think that you can do what they do with impunity, these are my words, with impunity, and get away with it, you lose. You hurt yourself and you hurt everybody else who's going to follow you. So do what you have to do and do it well. The judge has to bring with him or her the sum of all the experiences that they have. And a lot of judges and prosecutors don't have any experience in dealing with racist kind of conduct or even a sensitivity to it. It became somewhat of a mission to say, okay, let's see if we can help the even the playing field, and tip things more in balance to be more fair and more just for everyone. If you're fair to everybody, you're automatically going to be fair to black people. Whatever choice I made was the right choice. The reason I'm sitting here right now is because a series of right choices have been made as far as I'm concerned. I don't have any regrets. Would I do it all over again if I had to? I think so. And no matter what, I would like to end up here. What I also tell people is, I'm not so sure what I want to be when I grow up. I used to be a chemist, and then I was a lawyer, and then I was a judge. I got other stuff. I think the world has not seen the best of me yet, because I think there's still more of me left to give.